in Chautauqua County and all over the world. Here you go. Now I have a public service announcement for you, and then we'll be hearing from Doc. Here you go. This is for you.
Every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Okay, your best shot. Check for a spot. If you got a weird spot growing on you somewhere, go to your doctor and have it checked out. Probably isn't cancer, but it could be. And if it is, it's better that you catch it early before it covers your entire body. John Hamels, Dr. John Hamels is with us. I'm surrounded by doctors here. We got Dr. Maryannspanos on my right, and I got Dr. John Hamels on my left. And here you go. John, you're on.
And no matter what we say, you do what you want. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Marianne, and our viewers. I want to start with something light and then end on something kind of sad here, Reed. First of all, we're talking about the antique show this weekend. Next weekend, we've got the 40th Westfield Arts and Crafts Festival coming up. So you had something to do with that, didn't you?
I was in the first program. I cooked that up with a one-time mayor of our Linda Dunn
right.
Village, and I suggested it. Said that's what they do down in Long Island, where I lived at the time, a lot. And she carried forth and went on with it. And the first one I went to, and there were 18 members there. And I brought some of my paintings. I still paint a little bit, and we just had a nice exhibit, and it went on from there. Now it's, I think, 40 million people come to it every year now. Something like that.
Did you just say million?
Yeah.
Well, that's good news. You heard it first. Well, along with the festival this year, my partner Bill and I, Bill Drello, we are going to be hosting two, I guess you say, lineups, both Friday and Saturday, of musicians and presentations. And we got fiddlers, we got country music, jazz, Irish. It's going to be all over the place. So it's going to be a lot of fun in the gazebo. Okay, now to more serious matters. As you can see in my hand, I've got news articles, and it's about the county home. Folks, it's rambling on, it's roaring on. I went to a presentation about a week and a half ago in the county legislative chambers. There was a presentation made. You've all read about it in the paper. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to sell the home, but it sort of sounds that way when you read it in the paper. That's not the case. The case is that Greg Edwards did his due diligence as an executive. He's supposed to look for ways to cut costs. He proposed this. He followed through. He got the consultants. They did an RFP and so forth. And the presentation was made. That's where that ends. Now it rests with the county legislators. Legislators. They all have one person, one vote on this matter. The reason why I bring this up is because now it's really your time to weigh in. Whether you call in here, you call your local legislator, do your research, ask the questions. One of the things that that I did find interesting, and I'm trying to stay neutral on this because I think I need to, is that even though we're worried about the change, there could be some opportunity here. I don't remember the statistics exactly, but the baby boomer generation that we all know who we are, we're the largest generation on the face of the earth right now. And I have a tendency to believe that there are not enough services for us as we grow older. Maybe Marianne will weigh in on that later. But this could be an opportunity for some expanded programs with the new owner. And as was said before here, I think we were one of the first ones to report in on it, was that the county home can't expand. It cannot add more programs because of legislation, and I won't go into all that. But nonetheless, this could be an opportunity, and I know that we have folks that will be impacted on their jobs, but on the other hand, this could be also job, what do we call that, It's going to secure your jobs perhaps for the future through expansion. As far as the folks that are living at the home right now, there's guarantees with the sale of the property and both of the offers for many years to come and so forth. And you can read about it. But the point I want to make is this is a very serious matter. I encourage our legislators to think this through very carefully and that we all contact them. There's research on the internet. You can check on both of the bidders for your own use. But I thought, well, if I was a legislator right now, how would I make my decision? So I would ask myself probably 4 questions. First of all, is everything I've been presented true? Is it the truth? And as a legislator, that's your responsibility to figure that out. Is it fair to all concerned? Is this something good for the folks in the home? Is it good for the employees? Is it good for us? Is it going to be something that's going to be goodwill for our community? Will it be something that will make our county healthier and better? And finally, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And that's really a hard one to get to, but hopefully through some balance, some way that you can figure this out, that it'll be a good thing for everybody in the end. And I know change is hard. So with that, I encourage you to call in today if you like. I'll be manning the phones. You can ask Reed questions. Maryannspanos is here that probably can weigh in on the matter. And but just don't assume that it's a foregone conclusion, and don't assume that everybody's doing their job. Let's all get involved. And my last note is a really sad note, Reed. A very close friend of mine, and I want to mention this on the air because many people know him. Jack Scahill passed away yesterday. He had a valiant fight against bile duct cancer, a very, very, very painful year for him. He was an educator. He was a retired superintendent of Brockton Schools, a friend, a colleague, a mentor. Jack, you will be missed. Back to you, Reed.
Thank you. Back to your mention of the nursing home, there is one change which is kind of dramatic, and that is the fact that if you're an indigent, meaning no money, senior in need of a nursing home, you can get in quickly and easily because 80% of the beds there are Medicaid beds, which is, Medicaid is the program that covers them. We're going to lose most of those, but that's something that we'll have to face. We with us now have somebody who's in the know about senior affairs because she's the heart and soul of the senior program in Chautauqua County, runs it. Maryannspanos. Dr. Spanos has been in there for quite a while now. How long have you been there doing this?
Oh, 5 years. More than 5 years, I think.
And,
6
how
years.
time passes when you're having fun, because I had you on immediately, I remember. And
I did.
as I say, you're still the only Greek person I've ever had on the show. It's
well,
fantastic.
only Greek by marriage.
Okay, so what's new in the world besides this upcoming incredible picnic? Which,
yes, always. We're always
limited to 500 people. I've seen over 10,000 there, I'm sure.
Well, I think we have 550 last year,
Yeah.
and the pavilion, I believe, will hold up to 600. I'm not sure that my nutrition director will, it is difficult to pull off a party, and I have to really put my hat off to Becky Blum and the nutrition staff and all of our staff, because we all pitch in, but she's the ringleader who takes care of this party every year. Really neat thing is this picnic that we sponsor, there are no government dollars at all going toward it this year. Sometimes we can use some funds for just the meal only, but there are no government funds at all going towards this picnic. It is totally self-supporting between the senior donations and sponsors that we've gotten in the community. So we're very, very excited about being able to put on this wonderful party. And we don't do too many parties. We're more about giving services for seniors, and I really liked what John said. First of all, my condolences, John, for your friend. But one thing we have to think about as we're talking about the baby boomers, reaching 60, is that there are not enough services in the community. And as we think about nursing home placement, many seniors don't want to go to the nursing home. But in the past, because there are not services in the community, not enough services, that's been their only choice. So really, as we need to expand the options for seniors, not just the low-income seniors, but seniors who are middle income, seniors that are high income.
Both of them.
You know, as well as the low-income people. And I don't want to tell you you're wrong about something, but the fact about we are not going to lose poor beds for the county home. It did start out as a home for the poor, but most people who enter the nursing home within a very short time, months usually, no matter if they are on Medicaid going in there, they are usually on Medicaid within the first year.
Yeah, but
and that's not going to change.
We won't have that many Medicaid beds, 80%. You know
Well,
that's going to fall in a private
Actually,
group.
no. It's if you look at the other homes, most of them are Medicaid beds. How they make things up is doing more diversification, whether they have out beds or they're doing a lot of rehab. Some of them have extended their rehab to inviting people, outpatients there for rehab. And that's how they've subsidized the skilled nursing beds.
Well, I'm glad to hear that they still are taking Medicaid.
Yeah, and they will continue to, they have to in order to do business. No one can deny that, but they do try to accept people when they're under Medicare first, under short-term rehab, because Medicare will pay up to 100 days after a hospital discharge. So, and it's a little higher rate than the usual Medicaid rate. So,
Although it's falling fast. I see the Congress is trying to chop it back.
Well, it's
10%.
changing. It's changing, and some of that no matter how you feel on the Affordable Care Act, it is good for our healthcare system. It was not sustainable the way it was, and to move this movement toward rewards for better care, I think is a good move. We can debate, there are pros and cons to everything, but I think we had to change our system to just paying for everything to paying for really good quality care.
How about the Medicaid system? Well, they tell us we have the Cadillac of all Medicaid.
We do.
You get a heart transplant when you're 94.
Yeah, and Governor Cuomo, along with his Medicaid redesign team, which is very much a bipartisan team he has put together to look at the issue of Medicaid in New York State, is working hard to change that. They've already saved all the savings, unfortunately, right now goes back to the federal government, but they are asking for some of that money to come back to New York State to reinvest, especially in home and community-based services where people want to be.
Well, now,
so I think
the question of New York's being I think the only state that requires 50% to be paid by of the state's amount to be paid by the county, but they've adjusted that somewhat, haven't they?
Well, there is a cap on it, but I don't know the ins and outs of that. What I would suggest to everybody is there is a great website. It's called if you look up New York Medicaid Redesign, there's a lot of information on there, and they're constantly asking for feedback from the public. In fact, it's required until the federal government will not just approve whatever New York State comes up with on their own. They have to show due diligence that they've asked the public for their input. So I've gone to several public forums and spoken on behalf of seniors in our community, but I would encourage private citizens to go on that website and weigh in, because they also have a proposal on the ballot, or whatever you want to call it, proposal to the federal government to take over managing dual eligibles. So those are people who are on both Medicare and Medicaid. And that will be a change. So it would be good for people to weigh in, look at what the proposal is and tell them how it's going to affect your life.
Okay, well, good. I see that you're quite involved in the question of restaurants and food and nutrition and so forth. You mentioned it in the picnic, which is who cooks all that chicken?
It's All American Chicken Barbecue is who puts it on for us this year. So we're very thrilled to have them back. Everyone seems to love it. Of course, we have cash prize bingo in the morning, and for that, the staff has held several fundraisers so we can give those cash prizes away. So that starts around 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we've got musical entertainment and of course our basket giveaway, which is a lot of fun. So join us on August 10th. If you haven't gotten your tickets through your senior club, you can contact the Office for the Aging directly.
But you only have 500 tickets, right?
We have, no, 550.
550 now, 10% more, that's good, good news.